Good morning, everybody. I am so excited by this one. Sophie can testify. Because it's only taken me 3 attempts to find this beep place. We're talking about what is referred to as Staplefield auxiliary units, but the irony is that we're not really anywhere near Staplefield. In fact, actually, we're about a couple of miles away from Staplefield. But I won't tell you exactly where we are, because the reason is, and this is why you've got to stay tuned for this, it's been noted, and this is why I've spent so long trying to find this one. It's probably one of the best conditioned auxiliary units posts there is, full stop. Although the benches have sort of decayed, and obviously the escape tunnel, which we're going to go into, has probably increased a little bit more with a bit more dirt.
Yeah.
I'm very excited by this, and I think you should be too. And we're going to tell the story of this wonderful auxiliary units post, and obviously what the auxiliary units were for anyway. But we'll tell you about that when we actually get inside it. Yeah? You excited?
He's excited.
Yes. So if you don't do, no.
It's muddy.
Yeah, you'll be alright. Come on, let's do it. Come on. Right, everybody, let's try and head in and look to what we've got. Oh, lovely. Look at that, just about fit. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we're clear. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Oh, it's lovely and dry in here. Ow. So the issue we've got is hopefully there's no wildlife. Because if there is, blimey, that's a long tunnel. So it was noted that this was quite a long tunnel. Road reports is about 75 metres, 75 yards, one or two. My biggest concern is always that if there's wildlife, because it's just me v them in a tight space. Oh, there we go. Where are we? Okay, let's keep going. Right. Plenty of moths and such what. Oh my god. So we couldn't at the time work out where the exit was. So, oh jeez. There we go. Okay. Keep going. Almost see the entrance. Yep. Okay. You might not be able to see it from here, everybody, but almost there. Sorry about the way to do this, but believe me, it's an escape tunnel for a reason. Okay. My knees are shot to pieces. Twigs and rocks and all manner of things. I wonder if I could just about get up here. There we go. I thought I could. Oh. Oh God, this is making a right meal of this. I'm now pushing my bag with my knees. Okay. We've made it, everybody. This is the most important thing. Now let's just hope the condition is exactly what we want it to be. Oh my God, it is. Holy moly. Holy moly. Well, quite every possibility that there is spiders all on my head. But for now, not really worried about that. Wow. Oh my God. If I look back, there are no cave spiders. Oh my God. Oh. Jesus. I was expecting that to be a den, but it's not. It's literally where that's caved in. Oh my. This is dangerous. I mean, this is like really dangerous. But yeah, it's actually in the best condition I've ever seen one. Look at the benches. Let's see. Is that me? Oh my God. So that was the entrance. Somebody's used a bench to try and get down here. I'm in shock. This is incredible. I've got to pause for a second. This is taking my breath away. It really has. This is absolutely incredible. I'm actually quite emotional about this. Just taking some photos. Wow, just absolutely wow. Let's talk about it. Welcome back, everybody. I've just had to pause and just take this in. It is without a shadow of a doubt probably one of the best condition auxiliary units posts you will ever see outside of probably a museum one like at Coles Hill. I'm absolutely blown away. I was really nervous at first because you see these mounds. Once I place my torches, but that's really where the ground is just completely caved in. But there is so much original stuff here. So, if you didn't know about the auxiliary units were a sort of hardened or more specialised force of the Home Guard. And the idea was that should Germany have invaded, should Operation Sea Lion have taken place, the idea was that these units would have sort of created a guerrilla campaign, creating a lot of sabotage, slowing down the advance wherever possible, which is why actually you'll see a lot of them mostly on the southeast, Sussex, Kent, etc. And they were scattered mostly across England anyway, but obviously there was a higher concentration here because it was obviously believed that there was the likelihood of invasion would have come from the southeast. So they're obviously all split into patrols, and all of them would have been local to the area. And this is testament to this one. So at Staplefield, for example, as you'll sort of see now across The sergeant was Frank Baker, who was a farmer, and he was posted from 15th of October 1942 until 1944, which is when they were pretty much decommissioned, but they did start in 1940. And then you've got obviously Private Frank Ridgway Baker, Private Eric Catamol, and you can just see the list in front anyway. But all of them were locals: farmer, farm manager, chartered surveyor, poultry farmer, gardener, dairy farmer, etc., etc. An interesting story about Frank Baker: he went on to become the mayor of Brighton. So I'm literally standing in an auxiliary units post, which was formerly used by the mayor of Brighton at one point. How interesting. Yeah, he went from being a farmer to the mayor of Brighton. Interesting fact. But what we're looking at fundamentally, so as you've pre-seen, we've done a lot of these. Let me just grab a torch. Most of them consist of, well, all of them consist of escape hatch, tunnel. In this case, this one's extremely long. Obviously, you've got, oh, my battery's died on that, not helpful. You've got then a corrugated metal lining, and that's it, like an Anson shelter. That's all it's gonna, and you can see that's all it is. Then you've got brick either side with door, and then benches. So in this case, we know there's a map, which again I'll show you now, where there was 4 benches on either side, and obviously you can see that they're pretty much made up of like almost like a mesh, chicken wire mesh, if you can see that. And all 4 still exist. You've got 1, 2, 3, and then I'm laughing, but it's not really, it's, you know, some people. If I just go around, try and do this two-handed, slip in and slide in, and obviously there's our 4th bench in here. And this would have been our entrance. So obviously a ladder leading from the top, well hidden, flat to the ground, nothing raised up, because again it's meant to be camouflage. The idea is that they get stationed in here if the Germans invaded, and then they will live in here, and then they will pop out when necessary to obviously cause chaos wherever needed. Guerrilla campaign, like we said before. In here, these little alcove bits, there's some vents which are normally these ceramic sort of like tubes. But sorry, I'm really in shock, and if you know me, please forgive me, because my anxiety is sort of just a bit excited, and I'm just like, wow, oh god, look at all the midges, Jesus, if I looked at them. Cave spiders are going for a right good time. I'm going to get bitten alive here now. Lovely. Go through, and then, as you can see, it opens up, and this really would have been the main command section with coat hangers. Can you believe that? The original coat hangers. And then this is really where they would have been stationed. Excuse me, just need to adjust myself. All of the weapons and equipment that they needed would have been in, basically they're like barrels. So you would have had like these barrels inside on the opposite way around here in these little alcoves. And the idea was that they would have been filled with explosives and obviously ammunition, etc., etc., so that it's right there, and then you've got that to hand. So again, fully stocked up in this tiny little bunker, and then obviously, should the Germans have found your roof, or should they have found your location, should any of the locals given up your location, by whatever means, the idea was that you would have escaped through this tunnel, and this tunnel obviously leads onto a dry pond, sort of dry at the moment, but it'll lead up to a pond, and just fully lined concrete. And then again in this little section here, you can just see obviously used for storage, etc., etc. Just basic rudimentary stuff. A little vent pipe there as well. Obviously it would have been so rudimentary what we were looking at here. Let me just see if I can get a better light on this. See, pitch black now. There we go. That's better. That's better. Sorry about that. Probably a little bit too dark when I first got it. My other torch has just died, so there you go. But thankfully this one is good enough. But there you go, you get a proper look now. And then yeah, concrete foundation, like a little lip. But that's pretty much it. You could see who served in it thanks to the, I think it's, you can obviously check out all the information properly on there's a special auxiliary units website dedicated. And most of them would have been trained at Coles Hill, which is basically where the idea was that this was for locals. So you would have probably been part of the Home Guard, maybe at one point, but you probably would have been specifically chosen to be part of the Auxiliary Units Corps. There are most, if not all, were either built by the Canadian engineers. We know that because we're in Sussex, the Canadian Royal Engineers were pretty much stationed around this area. And again, if you see my channel, we've actually followed their story from the South Downs, Wimborne, etc., etc. But other ones were by the British engineers. So basically, Engineer Corps were the ones who designed these. Most of them were fairly standard type. Obviously, you've got zero stations, auxiliary units, posts, all slightly different. Operational bases, OBs. I'm not gonna go through most of that because if you've seen the channel, you've seen we have covered a fair few of these. But they were basically a specialist group of Home Guard that really, like I said, if the Germans had invaded, they would have been hidden in here and then just gone out, done little mini raids and then come back. And the reason why they're all local was basically because they knew the lay of the land. So they would mostly be pheasant poachers, farm keepers, etc., really locals of locals, and they had to be relatively fit, especially because they were getting trained as well. So like I said, most of them would have got trained first in basically how to use proper equipment, how to basic sabotage, etc., and that's it. But this one is probably one of the most intact ones. Now people could argue that there are a couple of others that are probably relatively good condition, but for Sussex, especially for Kent and Sussex, outside of Hollingbourne Zero Station, this is easily one of the best ones. And the reason for that is the argument is that you've got your escape hatch here and you've also got your entrance point intact. None of that has caved in just yet. Guys, it has taken me 3 attempts to find this place, and literally blink and you'll miss it. And that's really the purpose of these auxiliary unit posts, was that they were designed to be well hidden, and my god did they do a good job. We'll take one more look at the entrance. There you go. Which again, designed for just quick evasion. I can't believe somebody's actually used a bed to try and prop up. Little nails that are here, probably used for hanging anything that they could hang, really. Like I said, you've got your little vent pipes, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is it. And it is easily the best one I've ever been into. I mean, when you talk about rare history, it is just the rarest of rares. The coat hangers, I mean, again, if you see my channel, hardly any of this survives. It all just gets completely gone. And yeah, blown away, absolutely blown away by this. I just cannot tell you how I was so determined to find this one and to show you all out there, because it has been documented before. There's definitely photos. I'm not sure if people have filmed this one before, not that I've seen anyway, but there are definitely photos. So hopefully with this documentation it gives you a great insight into this. And sorry for my moaning and groaning as I was all going in, but yeah, incredible. I think we're done, everybody. Right, we've shown you, so I've told you the story of the auxiliary units. Just to recap, I've shown you the people that were actually stationed here. Pause if you're interested in all that, just you wanted to take a really good look. And obviously the fact that he went on to become the mayor of Brighton, so not too far away, about 15 miles away from Brighton. And that's it. Very, very cool. Well, I've got to go back that way. And Sophie has remained topside for obvious reasons. So, right, everybody, I think we're done. Very cool, let's head out. Right. Well, I've got to head out back through the escape hatch, but it's just incredible. But we've got to get out. Right, I'm about to crawl back through, and yeah, I can't take you with me because I don't think you're going to want to hear my moans and groans, but I'll see you when I'm at the top. Come on. Hello everybody, made it out. Just thought I'd show you the exit shaft or the entrance shaft. I've got to be really careful, but down there, that's the corrugated sheet that we saw, and if we were to lift that up, let me get my phone out. See if we can get a bit of torchlight. That's showing it, I think. Yeah, there you go. Oh, very cool. Right, let's get out. Everybody, I'm dead.
You did
I'm
it.
absolutely dead. We did it. And thank you for Sophie for chucking stuff in behind the scenes. Obviously I don't blame her for not crawling through that. My knees are absolutely shot to pieces through all the wood and the stones and everything else in there, but wow, that has to be the best auxiliary units post you could probably find in the southeast. Bar, like I said, Hollybourne Zero Station maybe, but it's a different thing really. So yeah, I'm lost for words really on this one. Like I said, it pays that you carry on and you keep trying, because eventually you'll find it, and trust me, it was a needle in a haystack, and actually the escape hatch was easier to find than the actual entrance. It's only because we sort of came out and we were like, well, we know what direction that's got to be in now, is to aim for it. But remarkable. Hopefully I gave you enough history on there as well. Oh dear, I'm choking. Quite emotional. In the more words of each history, thank you so much for coming along with us. Feel free to spread the word of the channel, really goes a long way. Please don't ask us where this one specifically is, because actually it's mislabelled on the directions anyway. So unless you know, you know. But like I said, it took me 3 goes to find this, so yeah. Just persistence and just common sense really prevailed in the end. But I feel like I know this wood's like the back of my hand now really. Accidentally. But yeah, take care everybody, much love to all of you out there. Feel free to spread the word of the channel, it really goes a long way, especially on this one, because a lot of effort and time has been put into this. Thanks Sophie.
Welcome.
She got to scrape me and like mud, well, dirt me, so that's fun. Take care everybody, much love to all of you out there. Any more words of ancient history, because history matters. We will of course see you all very soon. Are you ready? Go on then. Kapow.